All right, joining us now, members of Alamogordo Cross Country. Across the board here, we've got Sheyenne Drake, Kyla Fugate, Paxton Rodwick, and Jason Auld. And, of course, their head coach is Justin Gigler. Coach, congratulations on a great season. I know you still want some more on it this year, but this group's been pretty impressive for you this year, haven't they?
Oh, absolutely. We're just happy to take home both district titles this year. I think that was a main focus going in, and we got the first check mark off our list, and now we're going to go fight for some more. What
has impressed you about each group? We'll start with the ladies. I mean, what about the team has impressed you most this season?
I think what's impressed me the most is just the overall consistency from day one. We knew who our top 9 were going to be and who we're going to provide, and they've worked hard together and fought hard together, and we've come a long way. Times have dropped, and we're to the point now where we're thinking that we could do something special at state.
Boys, I mean, I know it was trying to work it along throughout the season, and you got a bunch of 8th graders that are running out there too. I mean, there's a lot of youth, and there's some older guys, with Jason and stuff. But this group has meshed well, it seems like.
Oh, totally. For us, starting in the beginning of the year, we didn't know past our first 2 or 3 guys who the next set of guys were going to be, and so that was always a work in progress. But we have a fantastic crew of about 5 8th grade boys from Mountain View that have stepped up and have all provided this year. And I think what was exciting, is to see them step up on that biggest stage last week and to steal a district championship away from Century. So it was kind of awesome.
Yeah, it was definitely exciting there at the end. Speaking of, Jason, that was pretty exciting there at the end. I honestly thought that you had it. I mean, right there at the end. Did you think that you had the win?
I thought I had
it.
Yeah. the guy that won thought I had it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It certainly seemed like it. Talk about that last, because you were, Coach was telling me you were really far back there in that last, little bit, and you managed to make that very close to the end, right?
Yeah, it was exciting. I thought I wasn't too far. I thought I could have. I thought I had it, but.
What gave you the push to catch up to those guys right there at the end? Did you have a lot left in the tank?
The people cheering on had all my teammates there, so.
Yeah. Certainly. I know it makes a big difference. Both teams are cheering on each other throughout the deal. Paxton, I mean, talk about this group this year. I mean, you guys have come, I mean, the fact that, Jason's a senior, you got a couple other seniors, you're a sophomore, you've got a lot of, young guys that are having to contribute, and you're certainly one of those, right?
Yeah, it's actually really exciting because whenever people think about running, you sign up for track, you want to be a sprinter. There's not a lot of us out there that want to be the distance crew. So having a lot of young guys that are going to keep this program going, it's really exciting.
Yeah. It's been fun to watch. Kyla, this group, scoot up there to the mic. I know she gave you the little look there. How do you feel like your season has gone so far? Because it's kind of interesting with the girls because, Sheyenne and Gabby both play soccer, and so there have been some meets where, you haven't had full teams, and you've had to kind of work around that this year. So it's been kind of interesting to watch the team, and y'all have been successful in the meets with them, and you've been successful in the meets without them this year.
Yeah, it's been different at every meet because Sheyenne and Gabby have been gone for most of the meet, well, like at least half, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so without them, I mean, we obviously struggled. I think when we went to an Ayate meet, we did get second, and with them there, we probably would have gone first. But I think as a team, we're still growing. Like that week, Maddie was pretty close to me. Like she moved up a lot. I think without them there, she realized she had to push herself harder. And I think a lot of the team has done that. We're just like growing around each other and pushing ourselves to like make up for that time that we lost with them.
Yeah, and it seems like that. I mean, that's a big difference. There are other ladies that have had to step up and be contributors in those cases, right?
Our top 5, actually our top 7 is actually pretty solid. All of us are doing pretty good this year.
Cheyenne, doing 2 sports in the same season is not an easy thing to do at all, and you've had a lot of success with it over the last couple of seasons. I mean, what is that like for you in terms of fitting all that in and schoolwork and all that stuff? Is it pretty hectic?
Yeah, it's pretty complicated sometimes, but I just think you got to stay consistent with everything you do. Just put in hard work with both soccer and cross as well as schoolwork and stuff, and then you can get the job done with both of them.
Yeah. Coach, I know that logistically that's been a challenge for you guys on the girls' side, and in some cases with the boys. I mean, we've seen it. There are just some meets that kids aren't available, whether it's testing or whatever, and having to work all that out, right?
Oh, yeah, it's totally part of it, But the kind of cool thing about cross-country is, you don't have to win meets along the way. You just kind of got to win the last 2. And so I know, this year we were, I think, 4 meets without having Gabby and Cheyenne, and we walked away with 3 wins and a second place. And I really can't argue with that. I mean, that's worked out logistically there. And so, the boys' side, and again, logistically for us, it was just trying to find those 7 runners that are just going to complement each other and push each other effectively. And, I think in the end, we got there. And so, we've kind of figured that out too. And plus, also the 8th graders are kind of a second set. They all come after school, and we're there before school, or not during, but during school, and having to work with those group of kids kind of independently with these kids is kind of difficult as well. But we had an opportunity this week to run everybody together, and it's really kind of amped up the level of the 8th graders. They're like, we got to push a little bit harder, because Jason and Paxton are around to push them. So.
Yeah, and the other part about it is, and you and me have talked about it, and it's something I've learned more about cross country over the years. Is you can have top runners, you're 1, 2, 3, but in terms of being able to compete at a meet, you're 4, 5, and 6. I mean, that's where meets are won, and I think we probably saw that at the district meet, especially on the boys' side this Friday.
Exactly right. Yeah, it was really our 4th, 5th. I thought Paxton, Jason, and Michael Gagnon had a really great race. I mean, they were 3 of the top 6 spots, but we really needed to push in that 4 or 5 spot, and that's always been our struggle this year. When we do go to meets, it's like we've been really close to beating some really good teams. It was the 4 or 5 that just kind of lagged, and last week at district we saw them really push up and running the low to mid 18s, which is for many of them minute and a half faster than they've ever run. So to see that happen was really awesome last week.
Yeah, Sheyenne, to be a part of a district championship team. I mean, first of all, how about the goals for you this season? I know we talked to you. I don't know if we talked to you at the beginning of the year. I can't remember now. But what were your time goals at the beginning of the season? Do you feel like you got there at some point throughout the year?
I don't know if I had like a set time goal at the beginning of the season, but I definitely wanted to make a new PR. Like I wanted to run a better time than I did at state last year, and I already have the meet before districts, I ran a better time than I did at state last year. I think I ran a 19:30 or something, and for me, just knowing that I'm still improving is it's pretty encouraging. So,
Kyla, how about you? In terms of your times and that kind of thing, have you gotten where you wanted to this season?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think my goal for the season was to break 20. And I think at one of the meets, it was a short course. I ran like a 19:30 or something, but obviously it was short. But this week before districts, I ran a 19:57. So, I mean, barely, but I did get it. So I was really happy about that.
Gives you some confidence.
Yeah,
going
I
into
did.
state.
Yeah, it definitely gave me a lot of confidence for state, because state is a very hard course with all the little hills. It tricks you and makes us do a lot. Yeah.
Big hills.
Big hills.
Yeah, I've seen some of the pictures. The hills on that course are kind of crazy. Paxton, how about you? I mean, what were you looking for out of this season? Was there a time you were shooting for?
That's actually kind of funny, because before the season started, I was really looking to break 18 minutes, so go a sub 18, and I thought that was going to be like a year-long thing, and then I was finally going to hit it at district or state, and I did it at our 3rd meet.
Yeah.
And I've continually improved, and I'm really excited about that, but I really didn't expect to improve so much this year.
All right, Jason, how about you? Where are you at with your numbers? You pretty happy?
I am pretty happy. I've PR'd about 30 seconds throughout the year. I want to be under 17 minutes by the end of state, and that's going to be about another 26 seconds. So it's going to be tough, but I can do it.
Yeah, it'll definitely be your best meet of your career if you do that, right?
It will be.
All right. Coach, I mean, have you been happy? I mean, we've obviously talked about it, but the progression of all these kids, have you been really happy with the work they've put in to get there?
Oh, absolutely. I think we've kind of ramped up the level of practice. I think the intensity was there this year, and just having a solid core and great leadership has really brought along a lot of these kids that were on the bubble last year. And Paxton mentioned just how much he has dropped. He took a huge jump this year in time. We've talked about it a little bit. He ran with us in 8th grade, and his transition to freshman year was modest gain, and it was like whoop, huge jump this year. So we're really excited to see that. And like I said, I know Kyla's been. For 2 years now, our goal has been to put her under 20, and we did that. And we have another solid 8th grader, in Michael Gagnon, who's under 18 as well. And so to have 3 guys there, and then a couple other 8th graders that run in the 1820s, 1830s, and then the emergence of Gabby. Gabby came along. We knew on our first meet she ran JV, and it was like, okay, this girl's going to contribute. We knew automatically just to throw her up to the next level, and that's kind of really helped be in that mid-20 range, and Mariah Martin as well, and then also having Nyasia and Madison, and I'm missing somebody else. Amanda, all those kids that are right there in that 21 range that just need, if you just drop down a little bit, at state on Saturday, we can do something really special.
Yeah, and speaking of state, I mean, how do you go into it with expectations? I mean, is it necessarily a place finish, or you just looking for the kids to focus on themselves and try to compete the best that they can?
I think in previous years it was definitely a place finish, see as high as you can finish. But I think we've got the team around these kids this year that we can actually really consider, finishing in those top 3 spots, especially on the girls' side. It's going in, Mile Split does a good job of getting all the 5K times in, but the thing with that is you don't know what courses people run, but I assume all the great times are from fast courses. I'm going to make that assumption. So right now we're sitting in 3rd, and Los Alamos isn't that far off in 2nd. Academy looks really sharp on the girls' side. So, I mean, we're to the point now with the girls where we would definitely want to compete for a trophy, because I don't know when the last time it's happened. I'm not really familiar with all the history of our program, but it might be one of the first times ever that they would bring home a trophy. And then for the boys' side, this is just, Jason's going to go have his race and he's going to run awesome. But for everybody else, it's just about getting experience on the course. Paxton's a sophomore, and Alex is a sophomore, and our other 3 guys are 8th graders. So for them, it's just getting experience to see that course for the first time, because they'll be on it every year after this one. So just to get that experience, get used to it, and get out there and compete. I think, as district champions, we have that expectation to finish in the top half of the field, and I'm going to hold them to it.
Kyla, I mean, you mentioned it there for a little bit about how tough the course is up there. I mean, what do you find so challenging about the Rio Rancho course? And I assume it's going to be the same course that was last year. Yeah, same course. What did you find so challenging about it last season?
Like I said, the hill. There's just this one hill where you're doing fine, and then you just get there and you're just like, I don't want to do this, but you have to. And then you think it's over, and you turn a corner, and there's still more, and everyone's like cheering you on, like, keep going, and you're just like, you don't understand at this moment, like, you don't know what's going on, and it like hurts. But after that, it's pretty much downhill, and then there's like another tiny hill, but I mean, it's not too bad after that. But I don't know, I like the state course, I like it, but I wish they would change it a little bit, because there's a little area on the soccer field, and it's like a
Zigzag.
maze. It's not even, it's like a little zigzag maze, and it's not fun at all to run that. And so, but I like it, and I'm kind of expecting to do a lot better on it this year, because I've never really ran a fast time. I always run horrible. Shay does good on that course. That's where her best time is, but mine's like the worst times I've ever ran. So
to have a good run this time will be a big deal to you.
Yeah.
Cheyenne, I mean, you finished top 10 in 6A last year. Do you have kind of expectation? I mean, she finished 10th, right? Am I right on that, or is that
without individuals?
Oh, yeah. That's true. But with individuals, 12th.
Yeah.
12th. But still, I mean, great run last year. What do you like about that course? I mean, Kyla pointed out that you enjoyed. Do you like that course a lot?
It's not that I like it. I just think there's a lot of there's this straightaway you have on the course, and I know Kyla likes it too. So there's just fans like lined up, and normally when you run cross, you're not used to that, because there's fans, but not a lot of people are surrounding the whole course. And throughout that whole course, there's people cheering you on, and it's loud, and you're running your fastest because people are cheering you on. So I don't know if it's necessarily the best course to run on, but just the intensity of it like really improves my time.
Yeah.
So.
Jason, how about your experience on that course? Is it one that you like? You find it challenging?
It's a very challenging course. My first year I ran it, I did absolutely terrible. It was still fun though. The experience alone is just something you'll never forget. So I really like it.
All right. Paxton, have you had a chance to run that course yet?
Not yet. This year will be my first time. And now I don't know if I'm excited, because apparently it's big old hills and
the zigzags and the maze and all that kind of stuff. So for when you attack a course that you've never been out on before, I mean, how do you go about it? I mean, when you've never run it in competition.
Well, before the race, we always go through and jog through the course, and I like to, if I've never been there before, I like to just get real quiet and visualize what I'm going to do, and see what moves I'm going to make, or see where I can make them. And a lot of the time, it's not something you can plan, because you can't plan if you feel great for a day, or if something happens, you pull your calf or something like that. But I'm really excited. I used to live in Albuquerque, and I've seen the Rio Rancho High School, so I sort of know what's out there, but it'll be a great time.
Coach, obviously, this is a program that has continued to, I think, make strides. And, this year with the move to 5A, it's, I think, increased expectations this year. And it seems like, this group, especially in district, they've handled it well. And, what do you think you attribute that to, the fact that, this group seems to, that kind of stuff doesn't bother them too much at all?
I think a big part of it, too, with cross country is you're never really competing against just 5A. we see some really good quality 4A and some really good quality 6A programs. So we know if we can, if they're on the girls' side and the boys' side, we can run with Oñate or Roswell or Lovington, those types of schools that are down here that, that we see all the time, that we're going to do well later in the season. The training model, a lot of times we'll go out and, these other schools will be like just killing it in week 1. Our goal is, to kill it in week 9 and 10, and that's kind of how the training model works, and everybody gets better throughout the season, and everybody's right now is riding the high wave of running one of their best races of the season. So I think that's a big part of it for us, is just seeing that really good competition, no matter what level it is, year round. I think that helps.
All right. Well, we know cross-country season will come to a close on Saturday for sure. We're going to see all 4 of you out for track and field come springtime, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Cheyenne, do you know what you think you're going to be running this year?
Probably the 8 and the 16. Probably some medley and 4x4s too, but we'll see.
Kyla, how about you?
A 2 mile and the mile, probably.
Yeah. Paxton?
Yeah. Mile and 2 mile.
Yeah. Jason?
I'm going to run probably the mile, 8, the 400, and any relay that hasn't those races in it.
Okay. We'll look forward to seeing. That's what's fun about this group. You're going to see them coming up later in the spring, and I'm sure you all are looking forward to track. But we're focused on cross country, and we're focused on the state meet coming up on Saturday in Rio Rancho. Coach, congratulations on a great season. Guys, congratulations on a great season so far.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll look forward to seeing what happens on Saturday.